He's the winning king. So in commemoration of his defeat of his enemies, he'll carve a ceremonial stela. How the hell is all of this shit that's in Egypt now in Mexico? And it's just by coincidence that now they have stelas. Not only do they have pyramids, they got kings buried in pyramids. They have sarcophaguses, which mean, a stone ceremonial burial coffin that they put the kings in. They have all these things. Even their writing is hieroglyphs. Okay? So we have many, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. A lot of this is new. The Olmec head, right here. And what you're looking at right here, you can see the slime in their eyes. See the slime in their eyes? Some of them have slants in their eye. Okay, this is Angkor Wat. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all here, y'all can Google that in. Angkor Wat, Cambodia, and then the heads will come up and you'll see the slants in their eye. But they all got thick lips. These was some of the early Africans in Asia, you understand, that had this particular persuasion. It was, in different parts of the world, different Africans congregated. We are African, but in many areas we had Africans with the slant eyes, long before the Chinese. Ain't none of them ever had, every phenotype you see on this planet, we was able to produce before any of them red races came along. We produce them right here in our own race. Okay, let me look at this. This Amenhotep III. You see the slants in his eyes. Okay, just like you see west in the west in Cambodia, you also see in Egypt. Who are these people? These are the see the Khoisan in southern Africa. You can see the slants in their eyes. Okay, so I mean that man look like he could be over in Southwest Asia somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So all these phenotypes, all of these phenotypes are African. So most people will look at, see a lot of them, they look at that and then they automatically they want to run to Asia. Well, that's some Asian, that's a goddamn lie, that's African. Quit lying, goddamn it. Just want to shoot to Asia so you can talk some shit. So we had to show you right there that, again, see, the carving of this stone like this is only in lands dominated by African people. The European never cut no stone like that. He cannot go nowhere, and so this is where they get the concept of Mount Rushmore from. Carving in the stone. When you go down into Ethiopia, when you look at the church, the Christian churches that the Ethiopians then carved down in the mountain. When you deal with the obelisk at Aksum, the largest single monument cut from one piece of stone. Okay? That damn Tekken or obelisk at Aksum is almost 5,000 tons. Okay? And they raised it up. The little lowly Italian, it was two of the little lowly Italian when Mussolini attacked Ethiopia during World War II, that a lot of people don't like to talk about, and committed genocide. The Italians knocked down one of those obelisks with their punk ass and then took it to Italy. And I think they just had a ceremony where they brought it back not too long ago. So I think it may have been back maybe now 2 years. So what we looking at, this is Pakar. I went to his temple, his pyramid where he was buried. See, what they like to say is that there's some type of difference between the Egyptian pyramids and the American pyramids, that the American pyramids have temples on top and that there was no burials inside of them, that the pyramids was basically in the Americas used as ceremonial institutions, where they would come on the top of the pyramid, do their rituals and whatnot. The people will be down in the open yard at the bottom. Whereas with the Egyptian pyramids, it was just burial grounds. They buried the king, they buried the queen, and then the grounds was treated as a burial site. But it has been proven wrong that not all American pyramids was just temples, that they did have individuals that was buried down inside of the pyramid. And the most famous right here is Pakal. He was buried at Palenque. Now, what area of Mexico, but you can look that up, Palenque. And what you're going to see is that just like all the brothers of the craft, with the main lodge being at Waset in Luxor in Egypt, he has his ceremonial mask. He also has his ceremonial collar, along with many other things that I'm about to show you. Right here, you see Tutankhamun down in his sarcophagus. Pay attention. And then here we go with Pakal down in his sarcophagus. See, listen here, family. See, we got to quit waiting on the cracker to always okay some shit for us. Okay? That the white man is the enemy. And I mean all of them. Okay? Don't single out your little white grandmammy and your little auntie and shit. And the ones you keep hid, you come out here black power all the fucking time, but you go and you sip hot toddies with Aunt Lulu or Peckerwood that you go and kick it with and pretend like it's all about humanity. You're not African no more. You're just a human. That's a bunch of bullshit. All these people are trying to assume power over our people. That's a goddamn fact. Whether they be white, whether they be Mexican. I just come from out of L.A. on August the 28th. I went straight into their ass. I went straight into the Mexican. You understand? Well, even though I took the trip down there, usually I have my crew, you know, and they couldn't make it, and that's all right. I understood why they couldn't make it. So when they see L.A., they're going to see that as a general, I went there by my fucking self and I didn't calm not a goddamn word. Not one word. I looked them motherfuckers in their eyes just like I had 30 niggas be. And I did have the Black Rider Liberation brothers with me. They held me down. There's no doubt about it. But nevertheless, I went in without my Detroit crew and we still was victorious. So we like fucking Voltron. You know, we can still come apart and kick ass and come back together when we need to. But showing you that this is where they got the concept of the burial in the sarcophagus. Okay, now this right here, if you want to see the burial in the pyramid, like this one is at Saqqara, if I'm not mistaken. You can look at Imhotep's pyramid, which they don't like to show a lot of that, because those are the older pyramids, and they just don't want to show you how advanced Egypt was even in the earth. I mean, Egypt came in full blown. Do you understand me? It did not have a development stage. Egypt's language was full blown at the first king of the first dynasty. They already had all the royal regalia, the crowns, the different the mace, the scepter, the different royal staffs that they carried. They had all of that, even the what they call the Akhet Khufu, which that's particularly dealing with the boat of Khufu, where each pharaoh had their ceremonial boat that was buried right next to them, so that they could go on. Because you had the earthly Nile and you had the heavenly Nile. And so the king kept going. He would get in his royal boat and he would go off into the celestial Nile. So in many of the, when you look up in the walls of ancient Egypt, you will see a lot of the deities. They'll be in the ark, they'll be in a boat, and it'll just be set. That's the celestial Nile. So you got an earthly Nile and you got a celestial Nile. So just like the sun in its continuation on this cycle, it is born into the world through Mama Nu and goes back up into the mouth of his mother Nu in the wall, travel 12 hours through her body, representation of night, to be born the next day out of her womb. You can go to Denderah and see that. But this is showing you the similarities between the old Mayan pyramids and the Egyptian pyramid. And like I said, you can find these types like this at Sakaba. Pepe, if I'm not Teddy, Zolja, go to Saqqara and look at those pyramids. This again, looking at the slab of granite that's on top of the sarcophagus of Pakal, showing you the metal netta that's there. And this is Pakal, and I'm going to show you a better copy of what's on it, because it's nothing but the resurrection of Asa. Okay, this is the sarcophagus. This is one of the earlier artifacts that they found by the Olmec pyramid. This is the sarcophagus. All of this shit, stelas, pyramids, sarcophaguses. You understand what I'm saying? The different type of ceremonial stances that these peoples is taking. The deities. Come on, family. We got to go back home and see that this is where this started. And so Africa, we knew a lot of people like to say, all the world is, I mean, come on. Stop all that shit. We're going to deal with this shit in order. We're going to deal with it from our land of our origin. We are indigenous to Africa. All other lands we migrated in. So the African is the only person on the planet that can say they original to their land. All other peoples are migrants. All right then. You don't want to deal with that fact. And so again, this is the whole sarcophagus. Let me go through that. Again, showing you how the Pakal was put down. Just like the brothers of the Nile. With his information, just like you got what they call coffin text, where the brothers put all inside of the coffin, where the brothers carved the sacred metal netta, the sacred writings of our ancestors. That's what that is. That's coffin text. Look it up. Look it up. Coffin text. And so as you see right here, not only the angle in which this is where the staircase where the sarcophagus was brought down, and I'm not for sure if he was buried on this particular one or this one right here. But I can show you the similarities with the Egyptian pyramid. See how it is on the angle? You understand? You got the queen chamber and you have the king chamber right there. And so we must stress that the pyramid is not just a tomb for a king. It is also a tomb for a queen. Let us keep looking at this very serious. So you see the angle. And so I'm going to show you enough that it ain't no damn coincidence. See, we always looking for a cracker to put a stamp on something. Listen here. The cracker is the devil. The cracker is a liar. And we should have gotten over this. We should not be stumbling over this shit now. We should know this shit is a rule of law. And so we can't take no information from the white man. And if we do, we looking at that shit, we breaking it down. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 great minds going through it, dissecting it, getting the bullshit out of it, keeping what we could use for our people. This is a Mexican pyramid. You can see that is a step pyramid, but you can also see the quality of it. Man, come on, family. This is shit is low. We give them credit. We give them credit. Our people came here, they did the best with natural resources and the extent of knowledge that they possessed at the time. It wasn't as great during the age of ancient Egypt. Matter of fact, it ain't even fucking close. Okay, just to be real. And so when I compare the Olmec civilization, because a lot of people have erroneously given the South American civilization some type of high esteem. But when you compare that shit based on the evidence, what is left, come on, man. This shit can't even compare to the Nubian pyramid. It's not even, because you can see that these are small down little bricks and shit, man. We talking about the pyramids in Africa was cut with solid stone. You understand what I'm saying? You got blocks big as that whole goddamn pyramid. And so right here, you see the first step pyramid on the planet. See, the thing is about the South American pyramid, they have no development stage. When you look at the very first one, it's a large megalith. When you go to the Olmec pyramid, it's a large megalith. You ain't gonna get big first. You got to develop. Okay, the big superstructure is the end result of all of the trial and error.